welcome to a news edition. These are the headlines. The President of the Republic, Commander of the Armed Forces, Minister of the National Defense Abdelmajid Tebboune, chaired on Wednesday a ceremony at the National Army Circle of Beni Messous here in Algiers in the honor of senior executives of the government on the occasion of the commemoration of the 61st anniversary of Independence Day and the recovery of the national sovereignty. The President of the Republic decided to grant a financial aid of $30 million to the Palestinian Authority, contributing to the reconstruction of the Palestinian city of Jenin. The President of the Republic visited on Wednesday several projects of development in the provinces of Algiers, Boumerdas and Tipaza. On the occasion of the 61st anniversary of independence and youth, thousands of Algerian families benefited of brand new houses. More than 150,000 houses will be distributed. The Algerian communities in Washington and Lille organized ceremonies to celebrate the 61st anniversary of independence. On the occasion of the celebration of the 61st anniversary of independence and the recovery of national sovereignty, the President of the Republic, Supreme Commander of the Armed Forces, Minister of National Defense, chaired at the National Circle of the Army in Beni Messous a ceremony in honor of senior state officials. More details with Rania Al-Bahri.
On the occasion of the commemoration of the 61st anniversary of Independence Day and the recovery of national sovereignty, the President of the Republic, Commander of the Armed Forces, Minister of National Defense, chaired on Wednesday a ceremony at the National Army Circle of Beni Messous here in Algiers, in the honor of senior executives of the National People's Army, including workers and retirees, and the presence of members of high-ranking officials in the state, guests of Algeria, and friends of Algerian Revolution. The President of the Republic was received at the entrance of the National Army Circle by Army General Said Chengriha, Chief of Staff of the National People's Army. The ceremony, which falls within the framework of an ancient tradition of the National People's Army, which aims to value our glorious historical stations and commemorate the souls of our righteous martyrs, was attended by the Speaker of the Council of the Nation, the Speaker of the National People's Assembly, the President of the Constitutional Court, the Prime Minister and members of the government, as well as General Ali Ben Ali, Commander of the Republican Guard, Secretary General of the Ministry of National Defense, commanders of the forces, Commander of the National Gendarmerie, heads of departments, directors and heads of central department at the Ministry of National Defense, and staff of the National People's Army, in addition to senior state officials, national figures and war veterans. During the ceremony, the attendees listened to the national anthem performed by the Band of the Republican Guard. Then watched a documentary entitled Algeria Challenges and Victories, produced by the Directorate of Information and Communication of the National People's Army. before visiting a photo exhibition that recounts the various stages of the glorious liberation revolution since its outbreak until independence. The ceremony ended up with a fireworks show marking the event.
The President of the Republic decided to grant a financial aid of $30 million to the Palestinian Authority, contributing to the reconstruction of the Palestinian city of Jenin and the camp in the West Bank following the savage and criminal attack of the Zionist colonial forces that caused the death of many of our Palestinian brothers. The infrastructures were destroyed and several Palestinian families left their homes looking for a safe place. Algeria expressed once again its eternal support to the struggle of the Palestinian people living under the Zionist occupation. Algeria supports the revendications of the Palestinian national and legal rights, especially the establishing of an independent state with Al-Quds as a capital. As part of the emergency plan implemented to reduce water stress, water desalination projects were launched in Boumerdès and Tipaza provinces. Similar projects are programmed throughout the country. Sabrin Tefergenit with more details.
On site and precisely in Cap Genet in the province of Boumerdès, the President of the Republic laid the foundation stone for the construction of the huge project of seawater desalination plant. It will achieve a production capacity of 300,000 cubic meters per day, a vital project that will meet the daily needs of more than 3 million citizens of drinking water supply in Boumerdès and Algiers. The President praised the efforts of the executives of Algerian institutions, especially Sonatrach and Sonalgas companies, which are concretizing the projects of the urgent program for seawater desalination, praising also the efforts of some ministerial sectors to make seawater desalination plants 100% Algerian. In this context, and as part of the 5th of July festivities as well, the municipality of Fouca in Tipaza province benefited from a similar project, namely Fouca 2, composed of 6 units. This plant will have a production capacity of 300,000 cubic meters per day. covering by that drinking water needs of the west side of the capital and several municipalities of Blida and Tipaza provinces. These projects will be taken care of by Algerian hands and the expertise that comes with it, with the aim to successfully achieve such projects in a short period of time. With that, 80% of the population's water needs will be covered thanks to the desalination plants. It will also contribute to the preserving of groundwater abstraction.
As part of the President of the Republic visit, several development projects were inaugurated on the occasion of the 5th of July festivities, including a hospital for burns, a media city, and housing units facilities. Sabrina Ferganit with more details.
Several sectors were included in the visit of the President, namely the housing sector, the health sector, and the one of the media. The foundation stones of housing units of the AADL program and a media city project, alongside a major hospital for burns, were laid on the 5th of July by the President. As part of the festivities, the President supervised the inauguration of the hospital in question, which bears the name of the late war veteran Dr. Saeed Shiban. This hospital is equipped with the latest medical means to offer the best care for critical and urgent burn cases. It should be noted that this 1,400-bed capacity hospital is the result of the commitment of the President following the fires that the country witnessed in 2022. The housing sector, on the other hand, witnessed the inauguration of the construction of 40,442 housing units in Algiers as part of the AADL program, including 10,670 units in 5 neighborhoods in the municipality of Rahmaniya and Douira. The inspection of housing projects of the capital Algiers was carried out in the presence of the Housing Minister, state and local authorities, alongside officials of the Housing Ministry. The President highlighted the fact that the benefiters from the housing units include the youth, since the ones who benefited from AADL 2013 were people with an age of 60 years old. Later on, the President hailed the efforts of the Housing Ministry aiming to digitize and upgrade this sector to get rid of the housing issue. A media city will see the light in the upcoming years as well. In Wilayat Fayt in Algiers province, an area of 74 hectares is dedicated to the construction of Zaire Media City, which will contain a zone for media, film studio, a village for artists, an area for teaching and research, as well as a multi-service zone. The zone dedicated for media will host the headquarters of the EPTV, the establishment of the public television, Algeria Press Service Agency, as well as the establishment of public broadcast, National Enterprise of Communication, Edition and Publicity, Algerian Radio, and the channel AL24 News.
As part of the festivities of the 61st anniversary of independence and youth, thousands of Algerian families will benefit from brand new housing units. All formulas combined, more than 150,000 housing units in total. The Algerian television accompanied this event in several provinces throughout the national territory. More details with Ania Al-Bahri.
More than 7,400 housing units were distributed in Sétif province. Houses which meet the latest urban planning standards and which have all the necessary facilities. On this occasion, the beneficiaries didn't fail to express their joy and gratitude. We thank God for having been able to benefit from this program. We are very happy. I want to remind you that during the current year, we have distributed nearly 400,000 housing units, where 150,000 units were distributed at the beginning of this year. We intend to deliver on the occasion of November the 1st a large number of housing units. On this occasion, I would like to pay tribute to all the managers of the Ministry of Housing on a national scale. The dream has finally come true for the inhabitants of Shlef province. More than 1,200 all formulas combined were distributed to their beneficiaries. This is an important achievement for Shlef province and a great joy for us. The celebration of Independence and Youth Day gave rise to a ceremony of distribution of 300 housing units of various types, as well as aid for rural housing for the benefit of the inhabitants of Janet and Burj Al Hawaz. Today we benefited from decisions of rural housing on the occasion of the celebration of the 61st anniversary of independence. It is a great joy for us. More than 1,600 housing units were distributed in Batna province, where 400 AADL housing units type and more than 500 free promotional housing units. The houses are perfectly designed to satisfy all the inhabitants. In Baskra province, more than 1,500 families have received the keys of their new apartments, which have all the necessary facilities. It is a great joy after years of waiting. We finally have the keys. A double joy for the beneficiaries of these housing units, since the distribution coincides with the celebration of the 61st anniversary of independence and Youth Day. Moreover, several infrastructures will soon be delivered in several provinces of the country.
A government meeting was chaired by Prime Minister Ayman bin Abd al-Rahman. A joint presentation was heard on the progress of the project to digitalize the financial sector, mainly the tax authorities and the public properties, and the progress made in the different projects included in the digitalization of the sector program, as well as the human and material resources devoted to the realization of a roadmap by the public authorities. The minister concerned presented a report on the progress of the opening capital of public banks in order to adapt this sector to the international changes and improve the efficiency of the bank administration and strengthen its governance. The government also followed the presentation on the launching of new university programs in the field of green hydrogen in some specialized universities and higher schools in association with foreign universities. Finally, the government listened to a presentation on the progress made in establishing free zones under laws that rule free zones. On the sidelines of his participation to the ministerial meeting of the non-aligned movement, the Minister of Foreign Affairs and the National Community Abroad, Ahmed Attaf, was received in Baku by the President of Azerbaijan, Ilham Aliyev, who held the support of Algeria to his country when he was the president of the non-aligned movement. On the instruction of the President of the Republic, the Minister of Foreign Affairs and the National Community Abroad, Ahmed Attaf, resumed on Thursday his participation in the ministerial meeting of the non-aligned movement in Baku. Ahmed Attaf had meetings with several of his counterparts taking part in this event, namely Ivan Gil Pinto, JJ Odongo, and Narayan Prakash, respectively his Venezuelan, Ugandan, and Nepalese counterpart. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs and the National Community Abroad organized on Thursday in Algiers a ceremony to celebrate the 61st independence anniversary. High representatives of the ministry attended the event. After putting a wreath of flowers on the memorial stone and recited Al-Fatiha from the Holy Quran, a minute of silence was observed in the memory of the martyrs of the Blessed Revolution. Members of the Algerian community living abroad, especially those living in Washington and Berlin, celebrated the 61st independence anniversary. The collective of the Algerians living in the north of France organized on the 5th of July a ceremony to celebrate the 61st independence anniversary of Algeria. Several members of our community, veterans and mujahideen, took part in this ceremony that started with the national anthem and followed by the speech of the new General Consul of Algeria in Lille, Mohamed Ouzrouhab, who highlighted the commitment of the President of the Republic to support our community and include it in the project for the development of Algeria. With this, we come to the end of our edition. Thank you for being with us. See you soon.